Okay, guys, so welcome to Train the Recruiters of the second edition for the recruitment of January 2019. So now we'll start the live broadcast. I will share my screen here. Okay, so um, yes, I will be presenting with the slides. If you have any questions or if you want to know anything during the time of the presentation, make sure you write it on the in the comments in YouTube. You have the permission to do that there because right now since this is a YouTube broadcast, I cannot read your comments or like talk to you, but you can write the questions and everything. And so, welcome one more time to the Train the Recruiters. I'm very happy to be here, and that this is actually our second edition. This is the second time we're doing this. Um, you're going to see why this is so much fun, and we're going to like really do some cool stuff together. So, just to get started, this is the agenda we will have today. First of all, will be like the introduction to Train the Recruiters, what it looks like. How we're going to be working together and so on. Then we will see very quickly about the get phase, then about the recruitment in itself, what are the details that we need to know, then space for questions for anyone who has any questions, and then task for next webinar and the closing of the space. So these are all the topics we will be talking about. We will have another call, another webinar next week, also during Thursday. Today is Friday, but the original idea was to make it on Thursday, so probably I will send a doodle to see when is the best time for everyone to be present. And yes, we will do it like this, and next week you can attend also. And yes, let's get started. So while we are here, first of all, because of course recruitment is coming, so we need people to be working on looking for all those members that are going to be delivering our amazing experiences that ISEC makes possible. Second of all, because we need to be prepared and trained to select the best people for our LCs. And third of all, because without the right people at the right time in the right place, as we will see later on, ISEC will simply not be possible. Like ISEC is an organization that is made by people. So if we don't have the people that we need, and if we don't have the right people and they enter the organization with the right processes, then probably some things won't happen in the best way. So this is why recruitment is so important, and the people who make it possible are also even more important. Before starting, also, I wanted to ask everyone who is here to write your name and surname in the comments in YouTube so that I can know who is attending the webinars. And then we'll deliver certifications to everyone who is attending. So, yes, please write your names there. If you have any problems putting a comment there, you can tell your VPs and I will get your names just in case if you have any technological problem with this. And the second thing is that during this webinar, every time that you see the blue man, but in black and white, so just like the one that you can see here, you should type your favorite emoji, any emoji that you want, in the YouTube comments. Yes, just so that we can make this webinar a little bit more dynamic, and you make sure that you are present and paying attention. And also, those slides are very important. Like all of them are, but the ones that will have black and white guy are very, very important. So yes, you can remember about them. So to get started with the get phase, I will show you very quickly what the TM process looks like. The TM process is basically the JD of every LCVP TM in the whole world, and also every MCVP TM, every manager or coordinator of TM. Anyone who does TM in ISEC, they should do it in this way, following these four sub-processes. The first one is get, the second is develop, the third keep, and the last one report. If you can see in these small texts here, it's like a very brief description of what the sub-process looks like and what is the purpose of this sub-process. So in the case of GET, is getting the right people at the right place in the right time to drive operations. And 2020 is our midterm ambition in the organization. Yeah, you can find a lot about it on YouTube, on Google. Then develop is to create an ecosystem that enables our members to learn in a specific way. That is 70% through practical experiences, 20% through talking to other ISECers, and 10% through actual formal education or theory or reading actual stuff about ISEC. Then we have Keep, which is about nurturing our talent to be more performing, more engaged, and to take a career path in ISEC. And the last one is Report, to keep track and find bottlenecks to work on in TM to improve membership in goal achievement. But as you know, today we're focusing on Get, that is getting the right people at the right time in the right place to drive our beautiful operations, our exchanges, and to achieve our 2020 ambition. When it comes to Get, the main part you already know, but it consists of 5 steps. They are persona building, talent planning, talent attraction, talent selection and allocation, and talent onboarding. So you might be wondering where we are standing right now. When it comes to persona building, we already did it during the TM Summit. We talked a little bit about which are those profiles that we need for our um, teams that will start working during 1st of February. Then regarding talent planning, it's partly done. I put actually the tick, but it's not really done. It's happening exactly right now when like we have our audit team from the MC that is doing visits in all the LCs with the EB elects, and the EB elects are actually planning their exchanges goals. And once we have those numbers, we will be able to actually um, know how many people we need in which areas and so on. Time planning, like I put a tick, but it's actually happening right now, and we'll have it finished, and we will be able to know our recruitment goals once that we know our exchanges goals. And this everything that is inside of the square, it is what happens like per se during a recruitment in itself. It comprises talent attraction, talent selection and location, and talent onboarding. When it comes to talent onboarding, we will not see much about it during our train the recruiters. We will leave it more to the LCVPs elect. They are the ones who are going to be implementing it. But there are some parts that we as teams of recruitment will be very involved, because we need to make sure that our people, the people that we are recruiting, get actually the most of possible of the information during the selection process. So we will focus mostly on attraction and selection and allocation. And when it comes to onboarding, also we'll have the important touch point that is NATCO, when we will build a lot what it's what it would look like, the timeline, what it will include, and so on. Yay! And if we look a bit to it more in detail, when it comes to talent attraction, it includes 3 main points. The first one is to plan your recruitment campaign, set goals for attraction, then plan the recruitment goal, of course, how many actual members we want, what will be the target, the channel, and the messages that we will use in our recruitment. And then, of course, execute the campaign and making sure that the people that we are actually attracting are coincidental with the personas we built. When it comes to selection and location, it has 5 points. The first one is to train the recruiters to get an objective assessment. This is basically what we're going to be doing today and in our next webinar. In the next webinar, we will make sure to learn how to do objective assessments, such as it says there. And then the second one is to base your selection on ISEC values and competences. Third one is to select people only for front office and base your allocation on the functional personas. What does it mean? This means that everyone who enters our organization should be allocated to a front office area, meaning an exchanges area. Don't worry if you are someone who was actually allocated on a back office area. This could have happened in our last recruitments, because sometimes we needed people for back office, and unfortunately we had no pipeline from current members to cover those spots. But we are actually working a lot to improve that. And right now, currently in our ISEC for Poland, we have over 600 members. Around 600 members. So for sure, I think we will be able to have pipeline for all the back office areas, and we will be able to fulfill the roles of back office with all the current members that are in front office. But this is the current is very important that we learn this from the beginning, that everyone needs to have a front office experience when they enter an organization, because when you are in front office, you can actually see what are our products like, you can know how to deliver the experience and so on. And the whole purpose of back office is the support of front office. So the more you know about front office, the better you are as a candidate to be in back office. So keep this in mind because it's very important. The following one is to identify the candidate's potential to take up back office functions in the future, of course, because yes, we recruit people for front office, but we can realize that someone is really good, for example, when it comes to finances, and this is someone who could be a potential coordinator or VP finance. And the last one is to give feedback to all the rejected and approved candidates and ensure a good candidate experience, of course, because whenever we are able to actually give feedback to our candidates, first of all, this is nurturing them as people and is teaching them a lesson, even though if they don't get in the organization. And second of all, it makes us look a lot more professional, and it shows that we are actually taking care of their experiences, even if they are still not a part of our organization, and that they can trust us as an organization to run any process and to be professional. When it comes to talent onboarding, is to provide all the organizational, functional, and managerial core competences to fulfill the JDs of a person and to understand the ISX big picture. Then the second one is to make an engagement plan for new members for their first 10 days and even more. Last time we did even the first month of the members, consisting of everything they need to know, the touch points, what they need to learn, and so on. And the last one is to establish an HR administrative process, such as membership database, which we currently have, that is Podio, and we are having all of our members there. Something that is very important is that we can only consider our recruitment as finished when talent onboarding is actually finished. So we can only say that all the people we recruited where it's actually like are actually cool new members, and that we actually accomplished our goal once that everyone is gone through talent onboarding, they were allocated, they attended the CC or the induction days, and they went through their first times in ISEC and they did the tasks. Because if not, we will never know if we are actually choosing the people that is the right people, or if we're just like putting random people in ISEC just because we need to fill the spots. Okay, so enough about recruitment in itself and technical stuff. Let's go directly to our business, what we will need to be doing. When it comes to January recruitment, so when it will happen from 7th of January until 10th of February. So pay attention here because I actually divided it into 3 parts to make it easier for everyone to understand and to follow up, and also because if we are able to be focused on one of the parts of the process at a time, it will make it also easier for us to make sure that we are achieving our goals and that we are like putting everything from us. So when it comes to selection, sorry, I put the wrong animations. So when it comes to attraction, it will happen from 7th to 20th of January. So this will be the time when the virtual attraction nationally will happen. It will be a Facebook event. It will be open during those dates. We have a whole campaign that Misha already planned. We have everything will be happening there. We'll have countdown for the deadline and so on. And if if the applicant goals is achieved in less than 80% by the date 20th, then in that case, LCs will be like allowed, let's say, to have 1 more week of physical attraction, but only if we achieve less than 80%. If we achieve 80% of our goals, then we should be able to actually process all those people and achieve like our recruitment goal. It doesn't mean that during 7th and 20th of January, we are not doing offline attraction. We're also doing, but during this last week, let's say this extra week that we will have, we will not have the virtual things, the virtual support, let's say, from the national event. So this is why the focus should be on physical attraction. When it comes to selection, this is the new thing that I was talking to you about, that I already presented to VPs during the TM Summit, that we're going to focus on trying to make it happen in only 1 week, from 21st to 27th of January, so that we can make sure to put everything in 1 week. So in this week of 21st to 27, you can already schedule when are the assessment centers going to be, or the review board. So you can have, like, for example, 2 huge assessment centers, but you make sure that everything happens in that week. So it logistically, it will be much more easier for us as LCs to manage that, because it will be much more easier for elected team leaders, for the whole EDs to participate and to be present. And when it comes to RSP, like the same. This is the idea. And if attraction is extended, selection allocation, selection allocation can happen until 3rd of February, but selection in itself should happen until the last, the 3rd of February. And when it comes to allocation, we are calling allocation here the LCC, or the individual, the induction days. And LCs can choose from 1 out of 3 weekends that they can do it, or even during the weeks is the same, is your choice. But they should happen from 26th of January until 10th of February. 10th of February is the last day when an LCC can happen. Later than that, then doing the recruitment, then if we do it later than that, we will be super delayed with everything, and it will just lose the point of actually preparing our membership in advance. So this is the when it's going to happen. Takes those dates into mind. And when it comes to attraction, we will have online and offline attraction, of course. There will be one national campaign, just as there was in September, and we'll have the same national forum, of course, with the improvements that we already been collecting feedbacks on how to improve. So all of the applicants will come to Podio, of course. Then the official link that will be opened since January 7th will be isaac.pl/recrutatia. So if you have any friends, if you have anything, whatever you want to promote, you should put this link. We'll receive all the applications in Podio and follow up there. And also we will have, once that we have all of the goals, we will have the national tracker in our TM tool, just like we had last time. And when it comes to selection, people will present their applications that we will receive in Podio. Then, and now comes the interesting part, because here we have 2 instances before being actually selected, like sending the final confirmation, that are the interviews, individual interviews or review board, however you like to call them, and the group assessment or assessment center, sorry. And these 2, you can put them in any order that you find better for your LC, because some LCs find it better to do first the assessment center, some other finds it better to do first the individual interviews to get to know the person. So this is each LC's call. So make sure that you sit with your OC recruitment and make a decision about it. Of course, all of the guidelines about this are exist. They all exist in our recruitment folder, in Ninja folder. So if you need this, please ask your VPs. They should give you access about that. We have a PPT model for group assessments. Then we have in each local tool of TM, there is the selection and allocation part, where you can follow up on each candidate. And there are even model tasks that you can use, like activities that you can do with the group and so on. But what is important here is that individual task for every candidate. That is something we started doing since last recruitment. And it's this idea of not only doing an assessment center and an interview, but actually giving the candidates something to do during this time when they are actually waiting for the final result. What can it be? Anything that is functional to your LC. For example, if you during January, if OGB in your LC has low signups, okay, so make the candidates actually bring friends to the meet and go or to the info sessions. Or if you don't have enough bodies and you are having troubles with managing the delivery peak because you have a lot of EPs and not all of the members can are present in the city, or you need more hands helping on that, then you can give them the task to actually go and do a pickup, or to go to send someone to the first day of work. Of course, you go first with them, but because it's not that they can do it on their own. Or if you would like, if you see this person that is a good profile for IGV, so you can make them do a booklet about why it's so cool to come to Poland and specifically to come to your LC. Or if you have a problem with doing virtual attraction, you can put the person to make a virtual attraction plan. Anything that the person can actually do and deliver to you as a task, as a starting point to see how this person will work being in ISAC. And why is this so important? Because the person will have a first sneak peek to what it's like being in ISAC. Because yes, when you go to the assessment center, this is amazing. You see a lot of cool phrases and you see the why and you fall in love with the ISAC's vision and everything we do. But then in practice, it looks very different sometimes, or there are some things that you didn't imagine that you will have to do. So the sooner they realize, the better. And also it's better for us as LCVP's team and as recruitment teams to know what are the strengths and the weaknesses of this person, and what better way to know them but than actually seeing how they work. So more or less this is how it looks like. Here is like in a different, let's say, shape. Please don't forget about sending the official results to the person, even if they were rejected. We should also like tell them politely that they were rejected and that they um, and send them the email, the feedback, sorry, about why they were rejected or why they were accepted. And even if they were accepted, and we also have some constructive feedback to give to the person, we should do it. We should give it. We also have these model emails in the recruitment folder that you can find in Ninja folder. So remember also to ask the your VPs to share it with you. And then what we're going to go through very quickly is like when it comes to assessment center or group assessment, it shouldn't last more than 1 hour. More than 1 hour, like it means that we're not being like efficient enough. The idea is that if you are doing the interviews first, here the candidates can present their tasks, the individual tasks that we were mentioning before that they were working on. But if you have first the assessment center, then it's the same. They can present the tasks during the interview. But what this is important that they actually present this task. And then when they are doing the group assessment, they simply do the task that they are assigned. You can find in your local tools. Yes, and then when it comes to interview and review board, it should also like last 20 to 30 minutes. We were talking and laughing a bit with the elect VPs that sometimes review boards tend to last like even to 1 hour or more. And really, this is not recommended. Even if you have the time to sit and listen to the person, if it lasts more than 1 hour, it's just because you're talking about something that is off topic. The interview should be like a short time enough to get to know the person and their interests and why they want to be in ISAC, and to try to see, okay, if the person is like having problems with public speaking or not, and how shy it is. So it should be more for this part to actually get to know the person. So they should be the ones doing the talking, and we should be able to actually control the time so that they are like very like they reply to the point, and we can like finish and move on, because we will have a lot of applicants to process. So if we are like taking a lot of time with each of them, it will be never ending. And very, very, very important that we should never forget is that how to ensure that all of these things happen in the best way is by being a team. We often forget, because it's such a short time that we're going to be working together, we often forget that recruitment teams are actually one team. And as any team in ISAC, team standards should be implemented. We should have the plan, we should have the weekly meetings, we should be a support system for each other. We should be able to review what we're doing. Of course, it's a different experience because it's shorter. It's like 1 month or like 2 months if we count December and January. And if you're also going to be like OCs of LCCs, then it's a bit more, but it's not more than that. So just make sure that the team standards are being implemented, and the main parts are happening, that the building is happening, that you have an identity, that you actually get to know each other, that you set rules for working, and that you have a closing and you can send a report. It will be super useful for next ORCIS recruitment to come. Okay, and now it's time for questions for anyone who might have. I'm sorry that I spoke super fast, but I will come here. Oh, I see a lot of emojis, so it's cool that you were paying attention. So if anybody has any questions, you can type them here, and you can tell me anything that you would like to know or anything that was not clear enough. Okay, so somebody is asking if you will find the presentation somewhere. Yes, I will share with you everything that you need to have. I will send an email to everyone who was registered, because in our national tool I was showing your VPs, current and elect, where they have to put your names. So the ones that I have your emails, I will send you, and the others I will ask your VPs. So yes, for sure you will receive everything. Most likely in your emails, like I will try to send it as soon as possible, and you will receive everything. Okay, and I see that not a lot of you are having questions, so I think we can move on. Um, and what is the last part of this call, of this webinar, is the most important one in my opinion. That is about the tasks that we should have for our next next webinar that will be happening next week. And what is this task? So first of all is make sure that you have your offline attraction plan until 16th of December. Make sure you order ads until 16th of December. And meet with your recruitment team and have your plans ready for recruitment. So all of these things are things that your VPs elect and current also, they know where to find it, but I will show you also that each LC, let's try with Białystok, for example, each LC has a local tool for TM where all the information of TM is there, and also about all the recruitments. So if you go to the tab called January recruitment, you will see all of the things that need to happen. But let's only focus for that on the part of pre-attraction and OC recruitment. So as you can see, here is like a calendar of December and January, where me and Nisha were working on. We already put all of the things that should happen in January. Everything raised like some things, like for example things, this attraction on the national level, this is when it will actually happen. But then all of the other things in local level, this is just recommendation. You can actually change it, but it should happen like between those dates. So you can try to fix it, like arrange it a bit to make it the best time for your LC, but between those dates. And the most important part, and where we are standing right now, is this part of pre-attraction and OC recruitment. So this is what should happen until 16th of December. So until here, we should have ask universities for internal promotion, book rooms, for example, for the assessment centers that we will have. Then select the subjects where you want to do class shout. So for example, if any of you study in a university that you know that you have a cool professor, you can start asking them if you can do a class shout, and tell the people about ISEC to join. Then if you want to have activations, if you're going to have activations in the university, which I really recommend, if you're wondering, like, just in case you don't know, activations are like stands, for example, but cooler, like with something called to action. For example, you can put balloons, and inside of them there can be like things that you want to develop by being in ISEC, so people can go there and pop the balloons and find out what they can develop by being in ISEC. So if you need permission from the university, so this is the time to do it. When it comes to physical materials, they're already ready. So if you want to start printing, you can do it. Then there will be ads campaign from the national level. As I said before, they will be running from 7th to 20th. So until this Sunday, they should be requested. So remind your VPs to request the ads. They can do it on this link that is here, bit.ly/ads for LC. Yes, and plan a referrals campaign for your LC. So, for example, you can plan like a competition between members who refers more friends to actually join ISEC, and the ones who gets the more points or the most referrals, they can win. For example, I don't know, a meal in some cool restaurant or something like this. Anything that you think the members in your LC will find cool and interesting, and they will feel motivated to actually do it. So I know that right now is 14, so we only have the weekend to finish these things. So the things that require like weekdays to do it, you can of course do it on the next week, but please don't forget, don't make it longer, because then um, we go into Christmas breaks and universities close, and then there comes the start of January, when everyone will still not be in comeback, and then the recruitment starts. So the sooner you can do all of this, the better. There are so many things that you can do by email. You can write to your professors by email. You can do a lot. So yes, just let's work on this. And when it comes to ads, yeah, this is the easiest because it's just about requesting. It's a Podio form where they have to put how much money they want to invest, what are the images they want to use, if they want to make their own or if they want to use the national ones, and then if they want to put any extra information. But yes, like I was saying, they will be running from 7th to 20th. So just make sure that if your LCs want to have this extra push for virtual attraction, they can do it. And if you notice here, we have a percentage. So every time that you finish one of these things, remember to put a click, and it will be giving you like points and percentage of progress, let's say, in preparing the recruitment. And I've made here in our national tool recruitment tracker, where we can more or less see who is more on track or not. Like, of course, this is completely like subjective, let's say, and it's not that if I click it, it will mean that I will have everything ready, or it changes a lot. But it's a way of measuring it and making sure that we are on track with actually doing it. And yes, a lot of LCs need to update, because one of the things is, for example, to have OC selected, and a lot of LCs have it. So this one for sure you can click. So yes, just ask your VPs to share with you. And in any case, I will show you that you can access the national TM tool is accessible for everyone. You can go through this link, bit.ly/TM Poland tool, but I will share it with you also in the email. And you can also check the local tools in bit.ly/TM local tools. But as I said before, I will share it with you. So yes, this is the most important things that need to be done until our next webinar, which will be next week. So just make sure to work on that. Yes, and this was everything for today. As I said on the beginning, the agenda, the whole point of the webinar of today was to make an introduction on the whole GET process and how the recruitment will look like, the timeline during January in ISEC for Poland. Also, what's important is that for you guys to know that you have access to this tool, to the TM Poland tool, where you can see a lot of information about TM, but also about recruitment, and that you can go to your local tools to check this part where all of the plans for recruitments can be done, and then you can simply like paint the moments of days when you're going to do this. So yes, again, make sure you ask your VPs to share it with you, but I will also share it with the output of this first webinar. And yes, and I hope that you enjoyed this webinar. It was super short because I know that it's Friday night and probably most of you have plans to go watch a movie or to do something. So I really hope that you enjoy it. Yes, and like I said before, I will send you everything on the email, and you can write to me on WhatsApp or on Workplace or anywhere. I'm super available to answer more specific questions if you have. Um, yes, and also like even on email, whatever you want. So I will just leave a minute if any of you have any specific question or anything you want to know, and if not, we'll just close the webinar, and I will see you next week. Okay, guys. So thank you so much also to everyone who is here. And we'll be in touch. I will send you an email with all the output and everything. And enjoy your Friday night and see you soon. Bye bye.